Well, welcome back to REI Hot Seat. We're here again this week talking about exciting deals we have, deals we found online, listings, questions, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So
Exciting.
we're here. I'm going to let Dave again this week. I want you to kick it off because you brought the deal in. What do we got going on?
So this deal is going to look a lot like last week's deal because it's a same owner,
Right.
different building,
Okay.
different deal, but the exterior looks almost identical.
Okay, so you just didn't put a hat on the building from last week.
You know
and
the
call it something
the
else.
thick
Yeah.
glasses with the nose and the mustache. We've got a deal, but we are in the same uniforms.
That's it.
So what's that about? You know.
Yeah.
So this one looks the same. Like I said, it's actually on the same street. So
Okay.
It's about 4 doors over. This one actually. So last week, just to remind everybody, was all 1 beds with 1 bachelor.
Yep.
Okay. This actually has a better suite mix.
Okay.
Mostly 2 beds.
Okay.
And then there's one bed and then 1 bachelor. The
Awesome.
bachelor's also legal, so they are all legal units.
Okay.
This is also a 9 unit.
And last week I said boiler room special.
Yeah.
Right, when we look at these bachelor units, and you'll see this in a lot of buildings, and you go, why they all have 1 bachelor, right? So what is the boiler room special? Just kick
Because
that off
there's a
quickly.
boiler in the basement in the mechanical room, there's not the same layout as the footprint as the level above. So
Right.
they can't take the floor above and put it down on
Right.
the lower level.
And so when they're doing these renos, to my understanding, is these older buildings, because most of these buildings were built 50s,
Yep.
right? 50s, 60s is kind of that sweet spot for mid-rise brick, low-rise brick. And the mechanical systems back then were a lot larger. So they needed these massive boiler rooms. They have these massive storage rooms. Some of them even have like janitor closets or staff space in the basement.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so what a lot of people are doing, what we call the boiler room special, is they take this space, they reconfigure, and they convert into a bachelor, 1 bedroom, whatever they can get down there.
Yeah.
But it just gives you that boost in units.
And
So
you
you'll see that
nailed
in
it.
almost all these 1950s, 60s.
You did a beautiful description of somebody
Yeah.
not looking at these photos.
There you go.
So you nailed it. Yeah. So this is a little bit of a different deal, not just because of sweet mix, but this deal has assumable CMHC debt on it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Okay.
So quite interesting. Knowing the conversations with the agent, they are pretty stuck. So listing is $1.7 million. They're pretty stuck at $1.65 million.
And I would imagine that's a ratio of where that mortgage is, right? Because there's only so much cash you're pulling out at this stage, and they want to
Yep.
make sure there's that spread for
And
them.
we've talked about this before, which is getting better debt. So just for context, this has $1.2 million at 2.69% till December 31st. So it's good debt, right?
Okay.
And what we mean by good debt is it's just a better interest rate than what you would get if
Yep.
it was new debt.
And sorry, when's the due date on it?
2031.
Oh, so it's got quite a while. So it was a 10-year deal, most likely.
Yeah, yeah.
And what is the interest rate on that debt?
2.69.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
so
good.
it's good. It's good.
That's fantastic.
So we've talked about this before, which is we have seen it even in a deal that we've sold, which is some of the larger institutions actually were getting aggressive on buying one of the listings with assumable debt at a lower cap rate than they would typically purchase at because they can assume the debt. The
Yep.
debt is cheaper, and because of that, they're willing to make a concession on the cap rate.
Yeah.
Right? So the question is, to what degree? So they want $1.65 million. Again, listing's $1.7 million. Who cares what the listing is? They want $1.65 million. That puts it at $183 a door, which is okay, not bad. Challenge is it puts it at a 5% interest rate.
Cap rate.
Thank you, cap
Yeah,
rate. Haven't
no
had enough
problem.
coffee. So thank you for that. Yeah, 5% cap rate. So where we start to hit a little bit of challenges with the deal at that price point is we are at about 75% LTV. And if you think of some of the other deals, even deals that we've sold, they were assumable debt, but they were higher. They were 80 to 85%
Got it.
LTV. So that's a pretty good metric.
Yeah.
The other one is cash on cash. So if you just do the deal at $1.65 million, the cash on cash, which is right here, is about 5.7%.
Okay.
With some lift on the deal, okay? But yeah, like a pretty good amount actually, $1.65 million to
Yeah.
$2.3 million. So not terrible. I think when you combine all that, and this is just anecdotal, my feeling, I think that price point's a little bit high. I don't love the cap rate.
Okay.
if you think of some of the deals, and again, I realize it's a little bit different. It's much larger stuff that we've transacted on and are bringing out. The cap rate on new inventory, brand new build, and we're kind of around that cap rate, give or take.
Yeah, and it looks like they're really relying on that debt, which is great debt. And you said 75% loan to value.
Yeah.
As it stands right now.
As it stands.
So, I guess the question is, do you try to bridge it with a potential VTB?
Possibly,
right?
yeah.
Is that an like that would that's where my head would go.
Yep.
Is like, okay, so seller's stuck on his number. Okay, fine, but I really like that debt, and there might be a way to make this deal happen. So can he give me a very favorable VTB to bridge 75 to call it 85%? Now you're down with much less money. And because the seller's getting his price, I would hope he'd be willing to give us a reduced interest rate, maybe match that CMHC rate, right? 2% interest for a 5-year VTB or whatever
Plus
it may
it'd
be.
Interest only, so it would help.
Yeah, interest only.
Love the idea. The challenge with the situation for the seller is they wouldn't be in a position to do that, so it's not an option.
Is there a reason behind that?
There is. It's kind of behind some NDAs, CA stuff, so we'll leave it. But if you're interested in the deal and you sign the NDA, then we'll get you all that info.
Okay.
But
so let's say he needs the money for something, whatever, right?
Certainly does. Yeah, and it has to sell the deal. Okay. So I like it. I do. I just think that the acquisition price is a little bit high, and it's fun to do these deals, especially with agents. It's a good agent to have these conversations because he's pretty stuck and he's agreeable to his seller's position, which is fine. And one of us is right. And it's going to be really interesting because we're just going to wait and see. And are they going to actually get a 165 sale price or not? When I used to do private wealth, you would be shocked at how many people, and we would constantly advise them away from it, would make strategic moves that would hurt their investing position to minimize their taxes.
Right.
Head scratcher. Why are we doing that? This is kind of how I would summarize is why would you overpay for a deal to what I feel is too much, right? This would be an overpay personally, just to get good debt.
Yeah.
Right? And we can quantify, hey, look, if you didn't have debt on it, what would the deal be worth? And then we can see the difference between the debt you could get and the debt that it has on it, the difference between the two, and we can actually calculate what the cost of that debt should be.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So
and I think it is a bigger conversation to look at the entire return, right? Like you have till 2031, you said.
Yes.
So you'd want to quantify, well, what is my boost in return between now and then, right? What's this mortgage worth? Exactly what you just said, right? Because that's what I would look at is
100%.
What is this debt worth dollar amount wise? I'll apply that to the purchase price above let's hypothetically say this is worth 6% cap rate.
Yep.
Okay, I know that's a lot more nuanced than that. But
but
6% cap rate.
Yeah.
I'm sounding like the guys that call me all the time now going, I only
in
want
for
6% cap rates. Okay, here's 10 of them, right? Which one do you want? So it's more nuanced. But anyhow, I would, apply that price at 6% cap rate, which is, do you know what it would be at a 6? Have you run that?
Without, no, I could. We could do the exercise. I might get a little lost on
I don't want to take too much time, but I would dive into it, look at what a 6 cap is, find out what the value of that mortgage is, apply that up above and beyond the 6% cap rate.
Yep.
Where do you land?
Totally
and that's
agree.
exactly how I'd price this deal out. It might not be that 1.6, maybe it's 1.5, maybe I don't know because I don't have the numbers in front of me. But that's what I would be doing on a deal like this, and I wouldn't dismiss it as a bad deal because if the challenge with this one is that loan to value.
Yep.
So if it was 85%, 90%, and you came in with so little capital down that it could almost justify paying the premium for the building, 100%. I think I'd be much more comfortable with the deal.
So I'm working my way backwards here. So just to hit, for fun, if we needed to hit 80%. So just for context, guys, this is not the only way we would look at this deal, but it's a fun little metric. Yep. What would you have to buy it at to hit 80% LTV? That would put you at a $1.5 million purchase price, which is $166 a door, and that's a 5.5 cap.
Yeah.
Okay. So somewhere between, in my opinion.
So that's your deal.
Yeah, like 1.5, 1.55. That's a very compelling deal. Then you get into, am I willing to pay a little bit more because it has good quality debt? I'm willing to find a nice 9-unit that's semi-stabilized with some lift.
Yeah.
So somewhere in that 1.5. Let's give a big spread, 1.5 to 1.
And how creative do you want to get, guys? Right, like you can dive into a million different metrics here and say, okay, well, can the seller do a little bit of renovations? There's a way to make this deal work, and I think that's where you and I've excelled in the industry is we don't just look at it and say, it doesn't work. We say, no, but how do we get it to work, right? What else can we possibly do to make this deal happen? Because location's decent.
Yep.
I like the building. I saw some photos of it. I like that debt.
Yep.
I just don't like the loan to value, and I don't like the purchase price.
Yeah.
So it's like, two of the biggest things.
Yeah. But look, if you pick
out.
this up, even if you went above 1.5, so I think 1.5 might be to the aggressive side, but somewhere 1.5, 1.55 to where we really like it. That's 166 a door. That's 5.5 cap. That's a bunch of 2 beds. Has a strong lift on it from $1.5 million to kind of 2.3 mil.
Yeah.
Your cash flowing. It's 8% cash on cash. Like I'd be willing to actually go higher based on the cash on cash.
That's pretty good. I would honestly. I think they might get their number.
165 that's 1.5.
Oh, 165. Sorry, I was thinking 1.6.
So let's go 1.55 real quick. Let's just see what that looks like. So that is 172 a door, a 5.2 cap. That puts us at, I bet you 78%. You're 78% LTV. You're a 7% cash on cash. And you're in for $400K.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
It's getting better, right? So that with a little bit of creative deal making, we can definitely dive in. I think we could make this work for sure for somebody because I like the metrics of the deal.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that. Cool. Well, that's short and sweet, but I think we kind of looked at a couple different options there. I'm happy with the deal. I think definitely we could dive into that more with somebody one-on-one and really hone in on what does this actually going to look like for somebody there.
Yep.
So anything else?
No, if you made it this far, like, subscribe, give us a follow. We're constantly doing intakes. We're doing analysis on building owners. Hey, what's it worth, even if they don't want to sell? There's a lot of that going on right now, which we're super passionate about. We're giving people their own sheet to noodle around with, to use your word. And we have a lot of off-market inventory. We've had stuff. You've sent out some amazing deals off-market and more to come. So give us a follow, comment. Let's see how we can help.
That's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around.